Okay, let's do another bag change. Hey guys, it's Maggie and I am back today, and I thought while I'm doing a bag change anyway, we could chat. We could just have a little chat about how my ostomy's been doing this year, this summer, because it's been rough. Has it been rough for everybody else? I don't know if it's just the summer heat and how humid it's been. That can definitely impact your ostomy. We'll talk about that. Or if it's just postpartum, or maybe, or maybe it's kind of a mix of multiple things. It probably is more that. I've always heard that with autoimmune illnesses like Crohn's disease, it's not uncommon for you to go into remission while you're pregnant and then things kind of kick up afterwards. You might flare. Now, I don't think that I'm flaring. I don't think this is a Crohn's flare. I can tell the pain. I can tell the symptoms compared to when it might be something else. When it might be something I ate just not agreeing with me, or maybe SIBO. Now, I've talked about this before. Small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. It's not something I was officially diagnosed with, but I did talk with my GI doctor after talking with a nutritionist who was also, registered dietitian. Somebody had asked that in a comment, so I just wanted to clarify that. But yes, registered dietitian. They thought a lot of my symptoms of increased ostomy output and the stomach pain that I was having and the fatigue and whatnot really seemed to align with potentially that. So we started holistically treating me for it. Didn't take antibiotics or anything. At least not for that. I had been on antibiotics a number of times for other things like sinus infections and UTIs, which will mess with that as well. That's not helpful for SIBO. And things improved. So I know I almost hesitate to talk about this stuff because everybody obviously handles their health in a different way. And I kind of fall in the middle. I'm like, yeah, I'll take holistic treatment, but also more, I don't know, what would you call it? You know what I'm trying to say. So I fall in the middle. Like, I will holistically treat myself, but also I took 𝙗𝙪𝙨, whatever works really is what I'm aiming for here. So yeah, I think that is kicking up again. That's what it feels like. And so I'm trying to go back to the methods that the nutritionist had taught me. This includes things like enzymes when I eat. I believe it's an enzyme. It's basically a little bit of acidity to help me digest my food, but also keep bad bacteria under control. We actually had started with me doing apple cider vinegar before meals. And I was like, this feels very, very holistic to me. And I did notice an improvement. So that's why I was like, okay, maybe there's something to this. Maybe it's placebo, maybe not. And then, apple cider vinegar is not that tasty to drink before every meal. It's actually pretty miserable, I found, at least for me. And so she recommended the 𝙗𝙪𝙨. So that's what I've been doing. The problem is now I feel like there is mom brain. I feel like I'm forgetting things. I feel like when Zach talks to me, I just have this delay of processing what he's telling me. And it takes me a few seconds to register and respond. So remembering to take the 𝙗𝙪𝙨 every time I eat has not been the easiest thing. So things have been improving at least a little bit with that. Although last night, I think something I ate just did not agree with me. I'm fairly dehydrated today because I lost so much through my ostomy last night. That was, God. I felt so weak, so, started drinking electrolytes, and that has helped a lot, but I'm still behind. So that's what I'm working on today. The other problem with just this summer heat has been my skin around my stoma. Oh my gosh, guys. If you have followed me for, I don't know, how many years has it been? Maybe 4 or 5 years. You might remember a few years ago, I was using Coloplast bags and I started having these awful skin eruptions. I would have these big spots of red weeping skin, and it was like this circle of hell, basically, where my skin would be weeping. That would cause more irritation. No matter what I did to try and dry my skin, I couldn't get it to dry, and so it would just weep and weep, and it would weep onto the coloplast flange, which seems to have irritated my skin further to the point where it was like 75% of where my flange sat was just awful. The only place that seemed to be okay was where the ring sat. And that's what kind of told me maybe this is a reaction with moisture and Coloplast. And so I stopped using Coloplast. I wound up going to a WOCN for this. And I told them everything I tried. And when I say I tried nearly everything, every product, I just couldn't get it to heal. Even switching to other products, I couldn't get it to heal. So we wound up doing Marathon, which I had to get another box. I got another box, which I'll tell you about. Marathon, this is like, I call this super skin barrier. It is no sting cyanoacrylate skin protectant. It is essentially putting super glue onto your skin, but it is, oh gosh, it is meant for your ostomy. So they had given me samples to try. This was to help kind of block any flange from touching my skin. I did Flonase. That's how I got started on Flonase, which is a nasal spray, but it's got a steroid in it, and a little bit of stoma powder as well, to basically make this super crust that no moisture could get into. And it took weeks. And if you know anything about Marathon, if you've ever used this, it's expensive. It is so expensive. This was $80. I know, for 10. And they're little vials that you crack. So it worked though. It just took weeks and weeks, and finally I got my skin to heal. And then I just got away from Coloplast because every time I would try to go back, the problem would start up again. So that's how I went to Hollister again. Then I started having issues with Hollister bags. The ring was not fitting the flange ring very well, and I would have leaks from there almost constantly. And so then I went to Convatec, and I used the moldable flange. That's what I've been using now. But with this humidity, that skin eruption, or at least something very similar to it, started to pop up again. And I will put a little clip here because I did take a clip a few weeks ago of what it started to look like, and it actually got worse than that. My skin just started to have that red, it was very defined skin, very red area with weeping, just, it would be wet. And so I tried just to handle it by covering that area in the shower, but also leaving it open. Tried a little bit of stoma powder to keep it dry. Couldn't really get anything to work. Unfortunately, I don't have any nystatin powder, which is for fungal infections. I thought that's what it might be. It does kind of appear that way. I ran out of that a long time ago and haven't needed it. And I went on to my chart to message the WOCN. And it's like if you don't message them or don't see them very often, they take them off of your care team. They're still filling my prescription, so I don't know what the heck is going on with that. I thought about contacting my GI, but I've had issues with my GI in the past. Not this particular one, but ones in the past filling my nystatin powder. They had no idea what I was talking about. So I tried some miconazole powder. That didn't work. I did finally get it to heal. So that's what I thought I would talk to you about today. While I do a bag change, which I should probably start. And I do want to say that Stoma Cloak is sponsoring this video today. And rather than me just doing like a little section talking about them, they played a part in getting my skin to heal. So I figured we'll talk about them when we come to it. But, you know, it's my favorite ostomy cover, and I've been using it daily because, well, my skin has been terrible. All right, what do I need? I'm hungry. I'm starving. I just realized that. That is not always great for an ostomy change because I feel like my stoma starts to wake up when I get hungry. Let's get some toilet paper. I'm over here. Sorry, I'm off camera. Get some toilet paper to protect my shorts as best as I can. Oh, I hope my ostomy is not active. If it is, it is. And we'll do our best here. Okay, let me pull this guy out. You'll see, maybe you'll see, I've been using the 𝙗𝙗𝙀𝙀, actually, are these 𝙗𝙗𝙀? No. These are Convatec hydrocolloid strips. These are flange extenders. I have been using these guys around my ostomy because what I thought was my current flange has a paper or like a fabric border around it and it was staying wet. I thought, let's eliminate that. Let's eliminate that problem and use the hydrocolloid strips because that'll block out water. Like they're waterproof. So started with that, but I didn't put it in the problem area. You might be able to see it's dark still where that skin eruption was. Not too bad looking though. Am I like, yeah, you can see it on camera. I only did 3 hydrocolloid strips and left this section open so it could be open to air. I feel like that was the best. Sometimes ostomy care is just, it's an art. I don't think it should be a science. It should never be called a science because sometimes you're just doing everything you possibly can to fix your skin, to get a bag to stick, to see what works, right? So, do I not have an ostomy bag? Did I not bring one up? I probably didn't. Give me 1 second. Let me go get one. Okay, we got the bag here. Nova's sleeping. Zach's on the Xbox. He's got her. Okay, got the ostomy bag. So, let's open up this guy. This is my flange, and just in case anybody's wondering, this is Convatec Natura Dur-Adhesive, reference number 413418. And I have it in the 1 3/4 inch size, which now fully officially fits my stoma. Isn't that crazy? My stoma shrank so much. Okay, so we've got that. I've got the ostomy bag. Let me open up my hydrocolloid strips. I'll show you those too. I know, my methods are not very official. So what I've been doing is cutting off the fabric border here and replacing it with the seals. And I feel like that has been helpful for blocking water out and making my bag last a little bit longer. So now I'm going to cut it off. I feel totally weird doing that. But it works for me, right? People get really stuck in their ways with ostomy care, and I'm totally guilty about that. And sometimes when I show what I'm doing, people are like, you're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. You shouldn't do that. I'm like, I don't know. I worked with ostomy nurses, and sometimes it is just whatever works, even if it seems weird to others. And that's what I do. That's what I've always done. Okay, peeling off the last little bit of paper here. There we go. So now it looks like this tiny little thing, and oh my gosh, you need more surface area or else you're gonna leak. I know, the first time I did this, I was thinking, did you just waste a flange? Because that's not enough. All right, so what I'm gonna do, let's remove the old bag. Am I ready for that? Hold on, let's get some, let me get my adhesive remover wipes. Gosh, okay. Let's remove this guy. I'm using my Ascenta adhesive remover spray so I can gently remove it. Okay, where can I put this? I've got no room on the countertop. Okay, I'm gonna wipe my stoma off first. Reason I do this is because let's get as much gunk off the stoma first with cheap toilet paper, and then we can go in with the more expensive wipe and only use one, hopefully. That's why I do this. Okay. Cleaning it as best as I can. Now we can go in with the adhesive remover. I ran out of these and I ordered them from Amazon, and they sent me the skin barrier wipes instead, and I was like, I don't need those. I have plenty of skin barrier. I need the adhesive remover. So we had to go all the way, I think, to Staples to return it, or else I would have had to pay. And then I ordered from Medical Monks, and they're pretty good. So if you need supplies, I suggest Medical Monks. That's where I got the wipes. And then I also bought these. And then for the marathon, I got that on Parthenon. Never ordered from them, but they shipped so quickly. Very good experience. I don't know if they take insurance or not, but if I can get in touch with a WOCN, can I switch my prescription over to Parthenon? They sent me a catalog with my order, and my current supplier has never given me a catalog. I have no idea what products they carry. They came out with this email saying, oh, we're gonna make it so you can order on an app. I'm thinking, oh, I'll be able to look through your product catalog on this app and, make my decision and order. No, it was just, here's an app to reorder. That's all you do, select reorder. I can do that in a text message currently with them, so I think that's stupid. But anyways, that's where I'm at with that. Okay, did I get the skin fairly clean? I think I did. So now I'm going in with the Flonase. This is the first thing that actually helps pretty well heal this area. This area looks so rough, and I actually do have some active areas. They're very small. Can you see? This is what makes me think it's a fungal infection. That's not even close to my ostomy, but my bag sits there. And this fabric, after I shower, I'm not swimming. I haven't gone swimming this summer. But the fabric stays wet for a while and sits on my skin. So I think it's fungal. But yeah, I have a couple spots down low. Can you see that? You might be able to see that on camera. I know I'm a little far away. There's a few. Whatever. So anyways, start with a little bit of Flonase. Spritz that on there. It's got a steroid in it. That seemed to help kind of calm things down at least. And I don't use a lot. And I'm not used to putting it down so low, but I feel like I need it. And then what I do is I just let this dry for a minute. It really doesn't take long to dry because it's so watery. It doesn't leave like a weird coating that your bag can't stick to. Definitely something though, because it has a steroid in it. It's fluticasone. I think that's how you pronounce it. Whatever. Because it's got that in it, it will, you want to check with the WOCN or your doctor just to make sure it's safe for you. Okay, so then I go in with Skin Barrier Spray, a light coating of that, and I can even spritz it down there too. Okay, now I gotta let this dry for a bit. I do have my hairdryer here, but to minimize cuts in this video, I'm not gonna use it. We're gonna let this air dry. I'll fan it with my bag. Yeah, so in talking about how this fabric stays wet, it's really annoying. The other thing that helped a ton was my stoma cloak. I didn't just drip on my leg, did I? No, I didn't. I'm not doing any cuts or minimizing cuts. It's a pain in the butt to edit right now. Yeah, my stoma cloak. So this fabric, their patented fabric, actually wicks moisture off of your bag. That's really the number one reason I use it the most, especially in the summer. And that I feel like just helped keep my bag dry. And I got to a point where not only was I using the stoma cloak, I was using their double layer version, which is called 𝙬𝙤𝙬𝙧. And that one I used at night just because I didn't want any moisture. I felt like at night it was so hot and I was sweating. The postpartum night sweats are very real. So I was using that. And a couple of other things about the stoma cloak is they don't wick. They eliminate odor. Especially when I was using, I think it was Hollister bags. I would start to notice a bit of an odor with the bag after 3 or 4 days. And if I put one of these guys on just for an hour, it got rid of it. It made it like a fresh bag, which was helpful. Because sometimes you don't necessarily want to change the entire bag just because there's an odor. If it's sticking well, I didn't feel like doing that. So really helped with that. Really helps with minor leaks. Like I've had pinhole leaks in my bags before. I talked about sometimes with Hollister how I'd get a leak around the ring. It's caught a number of those. It's also caught when I haven't fully clicked my bag on, so I get a leak around the ring. Yeah, it works with ostomy belts. They've got little belt loopholes here. You can get them in different lengths and different widths for, you know, your stoma size. And I can't say enough good things about them. Plus, they just look nice. I always get asked when I'm wearing one, where did you get your black ostomy bag? And the nice thing about this is you don't have to switch manufacturers. If you want a black ostomy bag, you could just throw this on whatever bag you're currently using. So yeah, I really love my stoma cloak. And in fact, I just pull these out of the wash. I have a stack. I've been going through my stack of them because I've been using them frequently. Yeah. But anyways, you can find them at stomacloak.com. Again, highly recommend them. They're fantastic. Now I'm looking for my barrier ring. There it is. Got my little 𝙗𝙗𝙧𝙬 here. Yeah, I love Stomacloak, and I'm over on their social media. I share a little bit more specific to the Stomacloak on their Instagram page and their Facebook page, a little bit on YouTube as well. So yeah. Okay, now I'm putting on my little seal. I got to a point where my skin was so bad a few years ago that I bought the version of this seal that's actually 4 inches wide, and I put that underneath of my flange. It felt so thick, like you could definitely feel you were wearing ostomy supplies, but I don't have a reaction at all to the 𝙗𝙗𝙧𝙬, so that's why I was like, you know what, we're gonna try anything. All right, I feel like my skin is dry. So I'm not going to use Marathon. I feel like my skin has healed enough where I don't need to block out moisture from it, but I'm keeping these on hand. I don't want to waste them. I only used one. And I was able to get things kind of under control. I'm just hoping that we don't need these again. They're really great. They're just, gosh, so expensive. Okay, I'm going to put my flange on. Let's aim it. Hold on. Do you see how, like, hangy my stoma is? I feel like it's longer than pre-pregnancy. Okay. Now I'm pushing it on. I feel like I'm forgetting a step. I don't know why that is. Isn't that bizarre? Okay. Since my stoma's calm, knock on wood. Knock on some wood for me. Let's get these guys on. Okay. So what I've been doing is just starting on the lowest edge, right next to where that bad spot was. And turn it a little bit there. Placing it on so it can help kind of seal it, hold it on a little bit better. Press that down. There we go. Okay. And then grab the next one. I'm only going to use 3. I think this box of 20 packages, which contain 4 of these seals, I think it was $98. I think that's how much it cost. And I don't know if my insurance would actually cover these. It's so weird. Trying to figure out what I can order with my supply company. I really don't like them. I'm sorry, I really don't. Alright, putting on the 3rd one, and this one is going to go kind of around the top to the left side for me. And see, I'm just leaving this little spot open so it can stay dry, or it can dry easier. And there's no wet fabric sitting on it. I mean, I did try to cover it with a 4th seal, and I feel like the moisture from it weeping was just getting caught in there. And unfortunately, I have found that you can't really peel these off and put a new one on. They sort of melt together after a day or so, because I was putting on that 4th seal last, and then as it kind of absorbed moisture off of the little spot, I tried to peel it off, stick a new one on. It got really rough looking. And I like to have a nice looking ostomy bag, you know. I don't want it to look icky or rough or torn up. Okay, did I get this on completely? All right, so as you can see, at that little section, it's open. And now I'm just gonna stick this guy on. Let's put on the old Stomacloak. the nice thing is you can empty, if you use a drainable bag, you can empty out of the bottom without removing it. Of course, I have to remove it because of the way that I do my ostomy. I don't think I'm going to do this for long. With how my ostomy output has been, I have had to wash my clothes, clean up the floor nearly every day, like once a day in the morning. That's when my ostomy has been the most active, because I can't get it to stop. And when I take off my whole bag to empty, it leaves my stoma open. So I want to get the Esteem body bag by Convatec, but that requires me calling the company. So yeah, okay. Feel like that looks pretty good. I feel better. Feels like it's sticking well. What I like to do is place pressure. Some people will heat it up with a heating pad, a hair dryer. I don't really find that necessary, especially in the summer. I can just, honestly, sometimes what I'll do, I will take a towel like this, I'll ball it up, and I'll wear high-waisted tight shorts and just hold it in place. And sometimes that works. So yeah, I do what I do, okay? I have weird methods, and that's okay. That is totally fine. So anyways, guys, that's what's been going on with my ostomy and my stoma. Hoping we can keep things under control with my skin and continue to get things under control with my output. You know, I feel like, considering all things, I felt pretty good postpartum. I'm very fortunate with that. I've kind of mentioned, there are some other health things that I have to take care of. And, you know, I want to do that because I feel like my hope is that I can have another pregnancy. I had some people saying, oh my gosh, this kind of ticks me off, and I apologize. I had people asking if I was pregnant again because I was talking about some of the nausea that's come with this output. No, I am not. I'm having a lot of pelvic floor pelvic floor pain that I need to address. So the way that you make a baby is quite difficult, and I didn't necessarily want to say that. But yeah, don't think I'm pregnant again, okay? I've got to get back on track. I feel like my pelvic floor was so good my whole pregnancy. I felt no pain, totally comfortable, and then I think the actual delivery of Nova kind of caused some issues. So I've been trying to do exercises at home. It doesn't really feel like it's enough for me. And I've contacted a few different pelvic floor therapists, one that I really, really want to go to, but they don't accept insurance, so it's pay out of pocket. The other one is right down the road, which is really convenient. So I got to make an appointment with them. I have to do it, you know, with the one that covers takes my insurance. So yeah, that's where we're at with that. Not pregnant, just letting you know. But anyways, where was I going with this? My hope is to be able to have another baby and not too far in the distance, you know. I don't want to wait too long. I want to wait enough time that my doctor recommended, of course, and let my body heal. But I want to take care of a lot of this health stuff too. So there's a few things I want to take care of. And I need time to do it. I get overwhelmed easily with that stuff, so it's going to take me a little bit of time, but that's where we're at. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching this blabbering video of me changing my bag. Hopefully, I don't know. I was going to say hopefully you can relate, but hopefully you don't relate. Hopefully your skin's being good and your ostomy output is behaving and you feel great, right? That's what we want. Thank you to Stoma Cloak for sponsoring this video. Please make sure to check them out. I love them. I love my Stoma Cloaks. I love that I can just throw them in the wash, take them out, reuse them, and they last a while, you know. You can reuse them, throw them in the wash, throw them in the dryer. Very simple to care for. I think they're great. I think they're fantastic. So stomacloak.com. Anyways, guys, I gotta go check on Nova. I can hear some little peeps and crying. Zach's got her, but it's that mom and like I just every cry I'm like, It's wild. It's wild. I'm trying to be better about it, but it's still, you know, she's little, so it's okay. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I will see you in the next. Bye, guys. Thank you so much for watching today's video. If you are looking for a way to help support my channel, consider liking this video or even subscribing. You can also check out my store at LetsTalkIBD.shop. I have stickers and hoodies like these guys over here, just related to chronic illness and inflammatory bowel disease, something fun. And I also have a coupon code for my YouTube watchers. You could also become a member of my channel like the wonderful people scrolling on screen here. They've become a member and they have access to videos a little bit earlier. It's a great way to support my channel, and really, just watching my videos means the world. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next.